Hi friends, welcome to EC where Nursing Education made easy. So in this section we are going to discuss about nursing education, or it's also known as educational technology, from 5th semester. So next week exam is coming. Are you worried about your exam? So don't worry, we EC is here to help you. So we are going to discuss some important topics that may come for the exam. So let's discuss one by one what are the important topics in this nursing education. So let's see. So first we are going to discuss some MCQ questions, so that may come for your exam. So some MCQ, let's discuss and let's quickly start our sections today. So be alert, we are going to discuss some important questions from nursing education. So the first question we are going to discuss today is, what is significant limitation of null curriculum? So what is null curriculum and what is the significant limitation of null curriculum? So these are your options. So what are the options here? It overemphasizes certain topics. Also, it focuses on only on formal education. It excludes certain topics or knowledge areas, and it restricts student-led exploration. So what is null curriculum here? What is the explanation here? So the answer is, it excludes certain topics or knowledge areas. So in null curriculum, there are some topics or knowledge areas will be excluding. So this is the first question that we discussed. So what is the significant limitation of null curriculum? It excludes certain topics or knowledge. So let's move on to the second question. So the second question we'll discuss is, which strategy emphasizes the use of case studies and also real world problems to learn actively? So which strategy will use case studies and real world problems to learn effectively? So which it is project based learning. So through project based learning, we can emphasize the use of case studies and also real world problems to learn actively. So this is the second question. So now we are moving to the third question, that is, what does CLE stands for nursing education? So what is CLE? Yeah, so CLE is nothing but clinical learning environment. So CLE stands for clinical learning environment. So are you getting the points? Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, which teaching strategy focuses on learning directly from patient interaction? So which teaching strategy is focusing on learning directly from patient interaction? So these are the options, that is concept mapping, bedside clinics, case studies and simulation labs. So what will be the answer here? So the answer is bedside clinic. So bedside clinics where we are meeting the patient. So we will get more knowledge about the patient in the bedside clinic. So it is the particular strategy that focusing on learning directly from the patient interaction. So here we are collecting the history, we are having a conversation with the patient directly. So that is bedside clinics. Clear? Yes. Now, so let's move on to the next question, that is, which of the following is an advantage of using working models in teaching? So we will use working models in teaching. So the example, a heart working model. So we are not using the real object, we will use the working model. So what is the advantage of using working model in teaching? So these are your options, like they are inexpensive to create, they oversimplify real world complexities, they allow experimentation without risk to the real object, they are difficult to maintain. So which will be the answer? So the answer is, they allow experimentation without risk to the real object. So the working model we can use for our studies. So there is nothing, now if you are doing some experiment also, nothing will happen. So if you are using a real object, what will happen? The experimentation will cause disadvantages, it will cause some risk to the real object. So the answer is, which of the following is the advantage of using working models in teaching? It is, they allow the experimentation without risk to real objects. Clear? Yes. So let's move on to the next question. It is, what is an example of non-projected audiovisual aids? So audiovisual aids mainly two types. It is projected audiovisual aids and non-projected. So which is an example? So these are the options: PowerPoint slides, flip chart, video clips, also filling project. So which is an example of non-projected audiovisual aid? So it is flip chart. Flip chart is an example of non-projected audiovisual aid. Clear? Yes. So next question is, what does the term ethics in nursing refer to? So what does the term ethics in nursing refer to? What do you mean by ethics here? It is principles and values guiding nurses in patient care. So it is a set of principles and values that guide a particular nurse in patient care. So that is what called ethics. So ethics in nursing nothing but it is principles and values guiding the nurses in patient care. So clear the definition of ethics. So now we are moving to next question. Which of the following is one of the fourth principle of code of ethics in nursing? So it is autonomy. So autonomy is one of the principle of code of ethics. Next question. Which principle of counseling ensures confidentiality between the counselor and client? So counseling, the confidentiality between the counselor and the client. Which principle is emphasizing that? It is the principles of confidentiality. So the client will give you some, as a counselor, as a nursing counselor, the client or the patient will give you some information. You are not supposed to share that information to any other person. You should keep it confidentially. So that is the principle of confidentiality. So which principle of counseling ensures confidentiality between the counselor and the client? It is the principle of confidentiality. So next we will discuss next question, that is which educational philosophy emphasizes learning by doing? So which educational philosophy emphasizes learning by doing? So which philosophy it is? Pragmatism. So a pragmatism is a philosophy, educational philosophy that emphasizes learning by doing. Yes, so these are the MCQs now we have discussed. So some of the next questions, like some of the short answers, short essay and long essay we are going to discuss. So first we will discuss about definition of education. So what is education? So education is the both act of teaching or others the knowledge and receiving any knowledge or guidance from others as part of their experience. So education is where we are giving the knowledge to other person and we are getting the knowledge from other individuals. So that is what called education. So here we are giving the knowledge, also we are receiving the knowledge. So that process is known as education. So education defines where the act of learning and the act of instructing goes hand in hand. So here education means act of learning as well as act of instructing. So the teacher will be there, the student will be there. Then the education will complete. So instruction should be there, also learning should be there. So it is education defines as where the act of learning and also the act of instructing goes hand in hand. It usually takes place under the guidance or influence of educator, teacher, elder, younger or experienced person. So education is like in a college. What is education? Your teacher is giving you a knowledge. That is education. So that is what defined as education. So clear the definition with education. Now we are going to discuss about the characteristics of education. So what are the main characteristics of education? It is a dynamic process that changes with time, place and societal needs. So before 50 years, what the education system in India, we are not following that educational system. So before BSc nursing was a 4-year course. Now it is in a semester course. So 8 sem totally. So that's the difference. So education is a dynamic process which changes with the time, places and societal needs. Clear the definition here? How it is changing? Because example is BSc nursing itself. So we are following the year wise before. Now we are following the semester wise. So that is, it's a dynamic process where it will change according to the time, place and societal needs. Next is, education is a continual and lifelong process. So it is continuation. So here we are completing the BSc nursing degree. It's not the end. We will continue our learning every day and it's a continuous process and also lifelong process. Next, it helps to develop a child's innate capacities. So our innate capacities, or in the childhood period when they start to get the education, it will make the capacities will be innate capacities we can able to understand and we can able to develop through education. It helps to bring about an expected or desired change in behavior. So through education, we can change the behavior of an individual. So that is, the expected behavior will be changed. Also, education is the means of helping individual to fulfill the goals of life, like education. So, after education, nursing education, we'll get a job which is satisfying our needs, get a job, getting a base salary. From there, we will start to grow in our professional and personal career. So that is, education is the means of helping the individual to fulfill the goals of life. Education is both an art and science. So it is also art and it's also a science. So this is the definition and characteristics of education. I hope everyone understood. So now we are moving to the next topic, that is latest approaches in education. So what are the main latest approaches in education? First is transformational education. So what is transformational education? It focuses on the fundamentally reshaping a learner's worldview, attitudes and sense of identity through critical reflection and profound experimental learning. So we are transforming one individual's attitude and views. How we are doing that? Like through critical reflection and profound experimental learning. Through experimental learning, we can able to change or reshape the learner's worldview, also the attitude. Then it is transformational education. So we are transforming one individual to another person through education, transformational education. Next is relationship-based education. So it emphasizes the building strong, trusting connection among students, educators and families as the foundation for effective learning and personal growth. So here relationship-based, there is a connection between the student, learners or the families. So that is the foundation for effective learning. So that is relationship-based education. Next is competency-based education. So what is competency-based education? It's structured around students demonstrating mastery of clearly defined skills or knowledge. Their competence, which skill they have, which competence they have. So that we will give here the importance. So emphasizing the demonstrating the mastery of clearly defined skills and knowledge. So that is based on the competency. So that is competency-based education. So these are the three latest approaches in education. First is making a person, we are transforming one person. Through education, we are transforming one person's worldview, thinking, attitude into different. Also, relationship-based, it emphasizes on the connection between the teacher, student and the families. And competency-based education, where we are developing the skills or competencies of that particular individual. So these are the latest approaches in education. So now we will discuss about traditional philosophies of education. So what are the main traditional philosophies? It has 4 philosophies. First one is naturalism. So what is naturalism? From the word itself, they are only nature exists. So the knowledge was coming, only the philosophy emphasizes on the nature. Nature exists and all knowledge comes from observing and studying the physical world. So from the knowledge is coming from only the physical world or the nature. So that was naturalism, was the philosophy of education. So here only nature exists. So only nature is existing and all knowledge is coming from the nature. Next is idealism. So here reality is fundamentally mental ideas. So here it is mainly on the focus here, ideas, thoughts or consciousness and physical world depending on the mind. So that is idealism, based on the idea. So through ideas or thoughts the knowledge is knowledge is deriving. So that is idealism. Next is pragmatism. Ideas are true only insofar as they work and produce practical, useful outcomes. So here learning by doing. So practically we need to do. Like we need to study the theory, along with we need to have a practical. So it should be practically and useful outcome should come. That is pragmatism, learning by doing. Next is realism. There is an object in reality that exists independently of our beliefs and perception. So reality is based on the real object. So reality, the knowledge is coming from reality, means it's based on the real objects or situation. So these are the traditional philosophies of education: naturalism, idealism, pragmatism and realism. Now we will see about modern contemporary philosophies of education. So what are the modern contemporary philosophies of education? Let's discuss. So first one is existentialism. So what is existentialism? The belief that individuals must create their own meaning and purpose in an indifferent or absurd universe through free, authentic choices. So here individuals need to create their own meaning and purposes based on their free thought or authentic choices. So that is existentialism. The individual should be existing in the world. His thought process, his ideas should come and should be having meaningful and should be purposeful. Next is perennialism. The view that education should focus on timeless, universal truth and enduring ideas. So here the education should focus on timeless, universal truths and enduring ideas to develop intellectual or moral character of an individual. Next is essentialism. So what is essentialism? The educational philosophy that emphasizes teaching core academic subjects. So it is mainly focusing on the teaching of core academic subject thoroughly in structured teacher-centered environment. So it is emphasizing on the teacher-centered environment. Also social reconstructionism. So what it is? The idea that education should actively address social inequality and empower students to transform society. The society, what we are studying, it should help to transform the society. It should help to eliminate the inequalities in the society. So social reconstruction. Constructionism should be in the education. So through education we can able to change the society. Next is progressivism. So from the word itself, what it is? Progressivism. It's a student-centered approach. So here we are focusing on the student-centered approach that values learning through real-world problem solving, experience and democratic collaboration. So here what all the things? We are real-world problem solving. We need to incorporate real-world problem solving, experiences and democratic collaboration. So these are the modern contemporary philosophies of education. So what are the mainly existentialism, perennialism, essentialism, social reconstructionism and progressivism. Clear? So let's move on to the next topic, that is teaching and learning process. So what is teaching and learning process? Teaching is the stimulation, guidance, direction and encouragement of learning. So as a teacher, so what is teaching? Teaching is the stimulation. So we are stimulating an interest in a student. Also guiding the student. So guidance, direction and encouragement of learning. A system of actions intended to induce learning and interpersonal influence to change the behavior potential of another person. So what we are teaching, it should have a intention to change the behavior. It should have influence the person, individual to change the behavior. So that is what called teaching. So teaching is a stimulation, guidance, direction and encouragement of learning, a system of actions intended to induce learning and interpersonal influence to change the behavior potential of another person. So this is defined by Gage in 1962. So next is learning. So that is the definition for teaching. Now we will discuss about the learning definition. So learning is the process of modification of behavior. Learning is the process of modification of behavior, habit formation through experiences and conditioning. So through experiences and conditioning, the modification of behavior, that is what called learning. So this is by Skinner, Gates and Pavlov. So this is the definition of teaching and learning process. Now we will see about maxims of teaching. So what are the maxims of teaching? That is also one important topic. So what are the maxims? Simple to complex. So the teacher should have she should teach you from simple to complex topic. So from the simple to complex topic we need to teach. Next is known to unknown. From the known topic to the unknown, deep discussions, unknown deep topics. Concentrate to abstract, psychological to logical, introduction to deduction, empirical to rational and whole to part. So this is maxims of teaching. So you need to study more about teaching and learning process because it is one of the important topic that may come for the exam. So next is latest approaches to learning. So what are the main latest approaches to learning? First is experimental learning. Learning by actively engaging hands-on experiences and reflecting them to deepen understanding. So based on the experiences, experimental learning. Reflective learning. Learning through thoughtful examination of one's experience to gain insight and enhance future performance. So we are reflecting. So what we learned through our experience, we are reflecting in our learning. So that is reflective learning. Scenario-based learning, using realistic situations or stories to help learners apply knowledge and practice decision making. So we are using a situation to get the knowledge. So real life incidents. Next is simulation-based learning. So employing interactive, often technology-driven simulations to replicate real-world experiences. Environments for safe practical skill development. So we are using technology-driven methods. So that is simulation-based learning. Next is blended or hybrid learning, combining face-to-face instruction with online learning. So that is blended. Blended means blending of two, like face-to-face, also we are using online media to teach. So that is blended or hybrid learning. So these are the latest approaches to learning, like experimental learning, reflective learning, scenario-based learning, simulation-based learning, and blended or hybrid learning. Yes, so next we are going to discuss about teaching styles. So what are the main teaching styles? First is formal authority. So what is formal authority? The teacher is the central figure. So she or he will be the central figure, delivering structured lectures and setting clear rules. So she will give you structured lecture will be structured, so and also clear rules and objectives in highly organized teacher-centered environment. So here the students are passive and the teacher is active. So she will give you a structured lecture based classes, also rules. So that is formal authority. The teacher will have the formal authority. Next is demonstrator. The teacher remains authoritative. Here also the teacher is authoritative but enriches learning by modeling skills and guiding students. So she will give a model and guiding the students through hand-on demos and visual examples. Through demonstrations and visual example. So that is demonstrator. So she will use some pictures or models to explain the topics. That is demonstrator. Next is facilitator. The teacher steps back to guide the students. So here teacher is stepping back to guide the towards students towards discovery, encouraging inquiry, group work, problem solving and critical thinking. So here she will step back and she will push the students to discover, encourage in inquiry, also in work, problem solving and critical thinking. That is facilitator. She will facilitate what the student needs. So she will step back a little and she will push the students. Next is delegator. The teacher delegates responsibility to student or groups. So she will give the responsibility. She will divide. Delegator means dividing. So that teacher will divide all the responsibilities to a group of people or to a individual students. That is while learner independently plan, execute and reflect on their objects. So it will help the learner to plan their curriculum and to work on that curriculum. So that is delegator. So these are the main teaching styles. It is formal authority, demonstrator, facilitator and delegator. Clear? Yes. So let's move on to next topic, that is curriculum. So what is curriculum? So it's an important topic. So what is curriculum? Curriculum is a planned and organized set of learning experience. It is a planned and organized set of learning experiences and objectives designed to guide what students learn and how they learn it. So it is already a planned and organized set of learning experience where the what the students need to study and how they need to get the study, how they need to learn. So that is curriculum. So it's a planned and organized set of learning experiences and objectives designed to guide what students learn and how they learn it. Clear? So we'll see the types. So types of curriculum. So mainly explicit type or written curriculum. So it is the official document set of subjects, goals and standards that are intended to be taught. So it is an official format where the curriculum planner is planning what the students need to be study, what the teacher need to be taught them. So that is explicit or written curriculum. Next is implicit or hidden curriculum. So the unofficial lessons like values, attitudes and norms conveyed through the culture and routines of school. So it is an unofficial lessons like values, attitudes and norms. Next is null or excluded curriculum. So the topic or perspectives are consciously left out of formal curriculum. So we are excluding some of the topic and knowledge, that is null or excluded curriculum. Extracurricular curriculum. So it's learning that happens in the activities outside the formal classroom, such as clubs, sports or performances like activities, college day festivals or arts day, sports day. So that kind of will come extracurricular curriculum. Next is spiral curriculum. So a design where subjects are revisited at increasing level of complexity over time. So revisiting of a subject, that is spiral curriculum. Integrated curriculum, an approach that ties to the multiple subjects and around themes or projects for more convincing, more cohesive learning. So here we are we are tying to some multiple objects, then it is integrated curriculum. Next is core curriculum. So what is core curriculum? Mandatory set of essential subjects all students required to study. So it is core curriculum, all the students should mandatorily study. So that is what called core curriculum. Next is subject-centered curriculum. So what is subject-centered curriculum? Traditional model focusing on mastering a distinct academic discipline. So it is mainly focusing on one particular subject or one academic discipline. Next is learner-centered curriculum, tailored to students' interest and learning style. So it's mainly developed based on the students' interest and learning methods, promoting active personalized engagement. Next is problem-centered or problem-based curriculum, organized around real-life problems that students investigate and solve. So these are the main types of curriculum. So curriculum is very important. So you need to study more deeply about curriculum. Clear? So let's move on to the next topic, that is unit plan. So what is unit plan? So what is unit plan? It's a detailed roadmap. So it is a detailed roadmap focusing on specific segment of a course. So here we are focusing on the specific segment of a course, grouping related lessons around common theme, topic or skill with clear goals, content, activities and assessment. So here we are using a roadmap for a specific segment of course, that is unit plan. Next is course plan. So what is course plan? It is a comprehensive outline that organizes structure, scope, objectives and sequence of an entire course over a semester or academic year. So based on for a semester we are planning whole entire course. That is what called course plan. Next is lesson plan. So it's very common lesson plan. You guys already have written lesson plan. So what is lesson plan? It's a single section guide that specific learning objectives. So it's based on a single section. So what we need to do, and instructional steps, materials, time frames and evaluation based for one class period. So we will take one topic or one subject or in lesson plan for one class period. So that is what called lesson plan. So these are the definitions for unit plan, course plan and lesson plan. Now next question we are discussing is information communication and technology, ICT. So what is information communication and technology? It is referring to the diverse act of technological tools. So we are using technological tools and infrastructure such as hardware, software, networks and telecommunication system that facilitate the collection, storage, processing, transmission and exchange of information. So we are using technology for the processing of information. That is what called information communication and technology. So once again we will read the definition. Information communication and technology referring to, it refers to the diverse set of technological tools and infrastructure such as hardware, software, networks and telecommunication systems that facilitate the collection, storage, processing, transmission and exchange of information. So that is defined as ICT. Clear the definition? So next we will see next definition, that is classroom teaching. So what is classroom teaching? So what is classroom teaching? You are studying in a classroom. So what is classroom teaching? It is the process of delivering instruction and facilitated learning within a structured educational environment, typically a classroom. So in a classroom there is the process of delivering instruction and facilitating learning. So the teacher will give you lessons and you as a student will learn. So that is a typical classroom teaching. So it involves the teacher guiding students through lessons, activities and discussion to impart knowledge, develop skill and encourage critical thinking. So your teacher will help you to get the knowledge and it will enhance your knowledge, also skills and competencies. So that is classroom teaching. Effective classroom teaching combines various instructional methods and strategies to cater diverse learning styles and needs, aiming to foster student engagement and achievement. So here the teacher will guide you to have a knowledge, to get the information and knowledge and to improve your skills and competencies in a particular environment that is known as classroom teaching. Clear about classroom teaching? So let's move on to the next topic, that is lecture method. So what is lecture method? It's a traditional teaching method. So it's a classical traditional teaching method where the teacher verbally presents information to a large group of students. So your teacher will give you verbally, she will teach you verbally through languages to a group of people, like a group of larger students. So that is large group of students. So that is what called lecture method. It's a traditional teaching method where the teacher verbally presenting information to large group of students. So what are the features of lecture method? The instructor speaks and students primarily listen and take notes. Excuse me. Sorry. So the instructor speaks. Here the teacher will speak and the student will note down the lecture notes. So in the notes that students will be writing down the main points. So that is what the main instructor speaks and students will primarily listen and taking note. It is useful for conveying large amount of information in short time. So in a 1 hour class, the teacher will give you a large amount of information in a short period of time through lecture methods. Also, it emphasizes teacher as the primary source of knowledge. So who is the primary source of knowledge in lecture method? The teacher. To teacher, she will be the primary knowledge. So primary base of knowledge where you as a student, you will listen to her and you will write down the notes, like lecture notes. Interaction is often limited but can include questions or discussion after the lecture. So sometimes interaction is less in the case because teacher only is talking, students is listening only. So after the class there is a chance of discussion. So you can ask the doubts to your teacher or you can discuss a topic more detailedly. So that is the features of lecture method. So this is lecture method and its features. So now we will see what is the advantage and disadvantage of lecture method. Advantage covers a large amount of content quickly. So we can address a large amount of content verbally. We can address to a large group of students. Also disadvantage is students may be passive listeners. So what will happen in a lecture method? Students is not active. They are passive. So there will be distraction. So unattentiveness will be there. So this is the advantage and disadvantage of lecture method. Now let's discuss about group discussion. So what is group discussion? It is a structured form of communication where participants share their ideas, opinions and insights to a specific topic or issue. So it is a structured, it's a group where we are discussing some particular idea, thought or some issues or problems. So that is what called group discussion. It typically involves group of individuals who express their thoughts in a cooperative manner. So its group members should have a cooperative with each other, often to reach conclusion, to make a decision and to explore different perspectives. So here they have to think, they have to discuss about one particular topic. They need to have a cooperation between each other to come to a solution or to come to a conclusion. So the discussion is usually moderated either by a facilitator or informally to ensure the participants have the opportunity to contribute. So group discussions will be handled by one facilitator. So she or he will be standing between the group people and she will manage what happens in the group. So everyone will get a chance to speak. So this is group discussion. So what is advantage and disadvantage of group discussion? Encourages active participation and idea sharing. So each member will actively participating and each one of them will share their ideas. So that is the advantage. Disadvantage, some students may dominate while others may stay silent. So some active students in your class will be dominating you, and some students that are not interested or they are not that much good in talk means they will be remain left out will be there. So this is some students may dominate while others may stay silent. So this is the advantage and disadvantage of group discussion. Now next is micro-teaching. So what is micro-teaching? It's a teacher training technique. So it is a teacher training technique. So the teacher is getting the training technique designed to give educators an opportunity to improve their teaching skills by participating them in a controlled environment. So here, why we are doing micro-teaching? To improve the teaching skills by participating them in a controlled environment. It involves delivering a short lesson for typically 5 to 10 minutes. So teacher should, within 5 to 10 minutes, she should take a short lesson to a small group of students or peers, followed by feedback and reflection. So after the lesson, so there will be feedback and reflection will come from the students or the friends who attended that class. So micro-teaching allows the teacher to focus on specific teaching strategies. So it helps the teacher to focus on specific teaching strategies, experiment with different methods and refine their knowledge techniques in low pressure settings. So within 5 to 10 minutes, she can able to give you a maximum information about one topic. So that is micro-teaching. So it's a teacher training technique. So what are the features of micro-teaching? It is short duration, mainly 5 to 10 minutes per session. Feedback, immediate feedback from the observers or peers to guide environment. So from the who attended the class, immediately they will respond to the teacher, so she can able to improve herself. Reflection, teachers reflect on their performance and make adjustment for future sections. So from that improvement, from that information, so she can also improve herself for the next section. Focused objectives, aimed at developing specific teaching skills like questioning or explaining. So these are the features of micro-teaching. So micro-teaching is also one of the important questions. So now we will discuss about next topic, that is skill lab simulation. So what is skill lab simulation? In nursing education, skill lab simulation refers to controlled, practice-oriented environment. It's a controlled, practice-oriented environment where nursing students can develop and refine their clinical skills. So skills, it's based on their skills. So here, what happens? The nursing students can develop and refine their nursing skills. So in a controlled and practice-oriented environment. So that is skill lab simulation. So these simulations often involve realistic scenarios and magnitudes that mimic real-life medical situations. So in a hospital. So in a hospital we are working, then we will be able to get the experiences. It will improve our skills. So that is skill lab simulation. The goal is to improve hands-on experience like safe setting, allowing students to practice procedures, make decisions and manage patient care without risk associated with the real patient. So here we are not treating the real patient, so the situation we are creating, and it will help to improve their knowledge and skills to treat the patient real life. So that is skill lab simulation. Next is symposium. So what is symposium? In nursing education, symposium is a formal gathering or a meeting. It's a formal gathering or meeting where experts in the field present information, research or insight on a specific topic. So in the symposium, experts will come together, gather together to discuss on a specific topics. So these events typically involve multiple speakers and or panelists who discuss their specialized areas, followed by question and answer session or open discussion. So in that panel, 5 to 6 members will be there. Everyone will discuss, everyone will address some kind of topic, followed by the person. We can have an open discussion or we can ask or there is a question and answer section will be there. So that is symposium. It's a formal gathering or a meeting of expert people to discuss about some topics. Yes, clear? Yes. So now we will move to clinical learning environment. So what is CLE? We have already seen what is CLE in the MCQ. It is clinical learning environment. It's a healthcare setting where students learn and receive training while delivering patient care. So we are delivering the patient care and we are learning a few things. So that is clinical learning environment. It's a healthcare setting where the students can learn and receive training. So while delivering patient care. So while delivering patient care, we can learn ourselves and we can develop our skills. So that is clinical learning environment. So the clinical learning environment includes medical centers, ambulatory sites, and any other healthcare setting where the learning takes place in a context of patient care delivery. So these are where we can study about patient conditions. So while doing the patient care, we will study about new information. So this is clinical learning environment. Next is clinical teaching. So what is clinical teaching? It's the process of educating students in real or stimulated healthcare environment. So we are teaching our students in a real life, like in a hospital. Educating students in real or stimulated healthcare environment, focusing the application of theory to practice. So after the class, in the class, we are studying the theory. Here we are applicably using that into practice. So the theory we are using into practice and development of clinical skills under supervision. So that is clinical teaching. Next is nursing round. So what is nursing round? Nursing round is a teaching method that helps the students to determine objectives, select the patient, and plan the care needed to improve their knowledge and ability to share their ideas, discuss and various nursing problems. So here it's a teaching method where this is helping students to determine what objectives they need to do, how to select the patient, and what the care they need to give, what the plan to care needed to improve their knowledge and ability. So it's defined by Handbook in 1964. So that is nursing rounds. Next is communication media, or also known as audiovisual aids or AV aids. So what is AV aids? Audiovisual aids are sensory objects or visuals. So it's mainly sensory objects or visuals that help the students to learning by initiating, stimulating and reinforcing learning. So by burden. So it is we are using sensory objects and visuals to help the students to learn. So any technology that may be used to make the learning experience more clear, realistic and dynamic, that is audiovisual aids. So examples, flip chart. Charts we are using, that is an audio visual aid. Flip charts we are using overhead projectors, slides. So PPT, so PowerPoint slides. These are where we can use. These are audio visual aids we are using to give a new learning experience to the learner. So that is by Kindred S. James. So this is the definition of AV aids. Now coming to the principles of audiovisual aids. What are the principles? It should be clarity. So the teacher who is making an AV aid should have a clarity. AV should be clear and easy to understand. So some points you are writing in the chart. It should be clear and easy to understand. Relevance. They must relate to the topic being taught. So you are taking a chapter on diabetic medicine. That AV should match with your content. So relevance should be there. Simplicity. Use simple designs and language. So it will easily, that person will understand. The students will understand. So use simple designs and language. Visibility. Our aid should be visible to all students in the class. So if you are making a chart with more content, it won't be visible to the person who is sitting last. So it should be clear and it should be visible to all students they are sitting in the class. Accuracy. Information should be correct and updated. So what you are making in an AV, that information should be up to date and it should be correct. Attractiveness. It should be colorful and interesting to catch attention. So you can use colors, sketches or drawings to make it attractive. So it will get the attention more easily. Next is suitability. Should match the age and learning level of students. So what you are preparing in it should match your students' age and level of learning. Next is interactivity. Encourage student interaction when possible. So whenever you are using an AV, try to interact your students also. Variety. Use different types of AV to maintain interest. Cost effectiveness should be affordable and easy to use. So these are the main principles of AV. Clear? So now let's move to the classification. So it is mainly classified into projected and non-projected AV. So what is projected AV examples? Overhead projector, endoscopes, film projectors, slide projectors, power projectors, example like examples of hardware. So next transparencies, film strips, so that are projected slides, video films, audio films, print material, floppy, CD, DVD, etc. are example of software. So it is mainly hardware and software that is projected areas. Coming to the non-projected areas, what are the main examples? Graph, chart, diagram, flashcards, posters, flip chart, map, photo. Cartoons, comics are examples of graphic aids. So it is mainly divided into first graphic aids. So these are the examples. Now coming to three-dimensional aids such as objects, specimens, models, puppets. Display boards, blackboard, whiteboard, bulletin board, roller board or magnetic boards. Print material like pamphlets, booklets, leaflets and handouts. Audio visual aids like radio, recording, television. Activity aids like dramatics like drama, demonstration, field trip, computer-assisted instructions and teaching machines. So these are the classification, projected and non-projected areas. You need to detail study about the projected and non-projected areas because anyway they will ask there is a chance they ask maybe write about graphs or write about cartoons or explain about specimens. So there is a chance particularly in the exams that questions will come about which is the projected and non-projected areas to explain detailing. So you need to study one by one. You need to study about all these. So please follow listeners and download listeners from Play Store or App Store. You will get all the explanations in our app. So download listeners. So now we are moving to evaluation and assessment. So definition, let's see what is assessment. The process of collecting, measuring and analyzing information. Assessing means the process of collecting, measuring, analyzing information or data to understand the situation, condition and individual performance. So we are assessing, we are gathering the information. That is what called assessing. Now evaluation, the process of making a judgment and decision based on the assessment data to determine the effectiveness, value and quality. So through the data we collected, from that we are evaluating what need to be changed and how it will help the students. So this is assessment and evaluation. So what are the types of evaluation based on assessment of knowledge? First is essay type question. So what is essay type question? It is open-ended questions requiring details. So in an essay we need to write, in an essay long essay, how we need to write? We need to write detailing. So it's an open-ended question requiring detailed structured response in the form of an essay. So what are the features here? Requires critical thinking, organization and expression. Students must construct arguments and synthesize the information. So what is the purpose of using essay type questions? It to assess students' depth of knowledge. So through that we can able to see how well, if it's a topic of diabetic mellitus, how well the students know about this deeply, how their knowledge is, and ability to articulate ideas and critical analysis skills. So that is essay type questions. Next is short answer questions. You will also get in your exam short answer questions. So what it is? Questions requiring brief. So short, we need to have a short answer, brief, specific response. So it should be the specific response we need for, particularly if you are asking what is hypertension, only the definition is needed. So that particular definition we need. That is questions requiring brief, specific response, usually few sentences or a short paragraph. So that is a short answer question. What are the features? Focusing on recalling the factual information, explaining the concept concisely. So we can able to recall the factual, the best, the knowledge about that particular information or explain the concepts also concisely. Requires precise answers. So the person need to write the precise answer. So what is hypertension? Only the definition should come in that answer. Purpose to assess understanding the key concept and facts. So this is short answer question. So next is multiple choice questions or MCQs. So what is multiple choice question? Questions with step followed by several answer options. So it's a particular question with answer options you are getting. That is multiple choice question where only one is correct. So if you have four options, then one answer will be there. Only one option will be correct. So what are the features here? Can access wide range of content quickly. So through MCQs we can have a wide range of content we can access. Also provides clear right or wrong answers. What is the purpose of MCQ? To text factual recall, comprehension and sometimes application of knowledge. Yes. So next important topic we are going to discuss is guidance and counseling. So what is guidance and counseling? Guidance is the assistance made available by a qualified and trained person to an individual. So guidance means one qualified or experienced person will guide an individual and to help him to manage his life on life activities, develop his own point of view, make his own decisions and carry his own burdens. That is by grow and grow. So it's a helping. A guidance means experienced or a person. It's a particular person will help an individual to make decisions. So that is guidance. Coming to counseling. So what is counseling? It's a series of direct contacts with the individual aims in offering assistance in changing his attitude and behavior. So the counselor will help the individual for more than a period of time to help him to change the attitudes and behavior. That is by Carl Rogers. That is known as counseling. Clear the definition? Guidance is we are guiding that person to take the decision. So in counseling, we are helping that person. We are assisting the person to change the attitudes and behavior. So now we will discuss about the differences of between counseling and guidance. So guidance is a continuous process, comprehensive and broader than counseling. It's a continuous process. Counseling is not necessarily a continuous process. It is an integral part of guidance. All counseling is guidance. So counseling is not a continuous process. Necessarily it's not a continuous process, but it is an integral part of guidance. Guidance is guiding act involves guiding advice and direction. So we are guiding and we are giving advice and direction to the person. So counseling is a psychological specialty. So in psychology, the counseling is coming. It does not involve giving advice or direction. So we are not giving direction or advice in counseling. We are helping the assistants to change the behavior. So that is the principle of counseling. Guidance is generally education and career related. So in education, after the completion of 12th standard, so they need to choose one particular profession or career. So what they need to do? So the guidance will help you to get a better idea and to choose a decision. So counseling is mostly based on the personal and social issues. In guidance, focus is finding a solution, where focus in counseling focusing on not a solution but understanding the problem. Guidance can be given both one-to-one or basic also in a group. So we can give group in a group of people also we can give the guidance or we can give personally one-to-one interaction. Counseling is usually done in one-to-one interaction basically. So this is the difference between guidance and counseling. So guidance and counseling also is very important. So you can expect this is a long essay also. So there is a chance it will come for a long essay. So study well about guidance and counseling. So now we'll discuss about ethics. So ethics is the science of ideal human character or the science of moral duty. So it's a definition is ethics is the science of ideal human character or the science of moral duty by Rushworth Kildare. So it's a definition. This is the science of ideal human character. So now we will see what are the ethics principles. Respect for human dignity. So we need as a nurse you need to respect all your patients, also consider them as a person. So respect human dignity, confidentiality. So what information your patient is sharing, you are not supposed to share to any other. Keep the confidentiality of information. Autonomy. Nurses should respect the patient rights to make their own decisions. So they are individual. They have the rights to make decisions. So as a nurse, you should respect that. That is autonomy. Beneficious. Nurses must always act in the best interest of patients. So what you are giving the care, it should benefit the patient. Non-maleficence. Nurses must avoid causing harm to the patient. So you are not supposed to cause the harm to a patient. Justice. Nurses should treat all patients fairly and equally. Accountability. Nurses are responsible for their actions and must provide safe and competent care. So what you are doing, you are supposed to have the responsibility and you need to make sure you are giving provide safe care to the patient. Fidelity. Nurses must keep their promises and maintain trust with the patient. Veracity. Nurses must always tell the truth and provide accurate information to the patient and family. Professionalism. Nurses must uphold high standards and behavior, knowledge and ethics and skills. So these are the code of ethics. So what is ethics? It's the science of ideal human character or the science of moral duty. So next question is EBP. What is EBP? Evidence-based practice. So evidence-based practice is the conscious use of current best evidence. So we are using the current best evidence combined with clinical expertise and patient preference to make decisions about patient care. So based on the evidence, we are making the decision. Based on the evidence, we are making the decision. So that is evidence-based practice. So what are the key components of EBP? There are three pillars. First one is best available evidence. Use research findings from high-quality studies, clinical expertises. So you need to use your clinical experiences, patient value and preference also we need to consider evidence-based practice. So what are the steps? First one is ask. It is 5A. So what is it? What the 5A? First one is ask. Formulate a clear, answerable clinical question. You need to ask a clear question. Acquire. Search for the best available evidence. Appraise. Critically evaluate the evidence. Apply. Use the evidence in clinical practice. Assess. Evaluate the outcome to improve and improve if needed. So this is the 5A in EBP. So in evidence-based practice, 5A. What are the 5A? Ask, acquire, appraise, apply and assess. Next we will see ethical standard for nursing students. So what are the ethical standards they need to have? Respect and compassion. So to treat the patient with dignity, kindness and without discrimination. So you need to treat your patients with dignity, kindness and without discrimination. Confidentiality. Keep the patient information private and secure. Honesty and integrity. Be truthful to your actions, documentation and communication. Accountability. Take responsibility for your learning and patient care activities. Professional conduct. Maintain respectful behavior, proper appearance and follow institutional rules. So these are the ethical standards you need to follow as a nursing student. Next we will see OSCC. What it is? Objective Structured Clinical Examination. So it's a performance-based examination in which students demonstrate clinical skills at a series of stations, each with specific tasks assessed objectively using standardized criteria. Here, as a nursing student, you will demonstrate your clinical skills at a series of stations with specific tasks. So you will demonstrate some specific tasks. That is Objective Structured Clinical Examination. So clear till now? Yes. So coming to the end of our section, any doubts anyone is facing? So we need to study. So nursing education where we need to write in exam more content. So you need to study more detail about the subject. So follow EasyNurse or download EasyNurse from Play Store or App Store. You will get within 199 for a month. You can subscribe to the course, particular course and study detailedly about each topic. So we have discussed each topic detailedly in our classes. So any doubts you have? Yes. So till now we had discussed about the nursing education or education technology from 5th semester, the important topics also, the important chapters. I hope everyone understood. So follow EasyNurse for more such videos and all the best for your exams. Study well and write your exams with confidence. So we will meet in the another section with another topic and another interesting subjects and topics till then. Thank you.